New record for the number of homicides. Our Julie Dunmeyer talked to Chief Eric Payne today about those numbers, and Julie, how he's trying to get them down.
Yeah, Doug, Chief Eric Payne is in his first full year as police chief for Grand Rapids, and he says that there are multiple things that have caused 2020 to be such a rough year. The pandemic, for starters, then of course their fractured relationship with the community, as well as an increase in violent crime. He says the one good thing that could come from all of this is that now all of these issues are common knowledge, and that's the first step in solving them. It's the kind of record no one wants to break.
The way I look at it, one is concerning. 34, 35, 1, they're all concerning to me.
35 homicides in the city of Grand Rapids in 2020, the highest ever, breaking only another record set nearly 2 decades ago in 1993.
We had a significant increase this year that is definitely concerning, not just to homicides, but to gun violence in general.
In a way, Grand Rapids Police Chief Eric Payne says 2020 has shined a bright light on all the darkest of places.
I really believe COVID has had a big impact on that.
An impact on crime because the pandemic has frustrated all of us. Businesses are hurting, and more people are living in poverty and uncertainty.
In the beginning, the state was locked down. Police officers were instructed not to engage as much, to try to keep themselves safe and the public safe. I think those that were inclined to partake in this type of violence saw that as an opportunity, and that's where I believe it escalated a lot.
The chief saying the most vulnerable in our community, left without options, turn to other ones. Payne also says a lot of the deaths are an eye for an eye, happening within days of each other.
What it is people who are beefing with one another. More than likely, it's kids that grew up together and now they're in these groups, and they're having disputes with other rivals.
But an eye for an eye doesn't just blind those involved in a pattern of violence.
We've had homes that have been shot up or homes that have been struck this summer that were not involved in any type of activity.
Not every homicide has been gun violence. A whole family killed in a horrific fire due to negligence. But Payne says those causing the hurt across the board are getting caught.
I would really be concerned if we have not had the results that we've had in these investigations. We've closed close to 70% of our homicides.
To the chief, it's the least his department can do.
It's our responsibility to make those that are out there terrorizing the community, hold them accountable.
The guns responsible for deaths and violence are being found.
We've taken over 100 guns off the street, illegal guns that were involved in crime since September.
But that doesn't solve the root issues that landed us here in the first place.
Arrest is not the answer in all crimes, but when you're talking homicide, when people are out killing someone, you have to do prevention.
Payne says that's where the hardest work begins. Fighting the systemic problems we now can't look away from. Because while crime this year has sounded like a broken record, the only way we can get it to stop playing is if we break the cycle.
So I think it's not just one magic wand. It's not just law enforcement. It's not just programs that are out there. It's everything and everyone working together.
Payne also mentioned his gratefulness for the multiple programs in our community that are targeted at reducing violence for young people and giving them other options, touting a grant given by the United Way to some of those local organizations. And again, the department also just saying that the important thing that we all remember is that there are 35 families in our community who are still grieving those losses. Reporting live in Grand Rapids, Julie Dunmeyer, Fox 17 News.
Yeah, it is good perspective. Thank you, Julie.